Olá, boa noite, muito boa noite. Eu sou a Juliana Santos, assessora pedagógica do Líder em Mim, e nós estamos iniciando mais uma edição do Lem Play. Gente, uma data muito especial, né? A gente está comemorando essa semana, a Semana do Professor, e a gente fala inclusive do mês, né? O mês de outubro sendo um mês do professor. No dia 15 nós tivemos a data oficial, e hoje a gente traz uma live que vai falar um pouquinho sobre o que é ser professor e fazer uma homenagem a você, que nos acompanha, que são nossos colegas de profissão, de trabalho e que inspiram tantas pessoas. Antes de iniciar e falar quem é que vai estar aqui conosco, o que é ser professor? Professor é poder transformar realidades, despertar sonhos e impactar no futuro de muitas pessoas, né? Olha que maravilha. E para saudá-los e para falar um pouquinho sobre o que é ser professor também, eu convido a vir aqui nos dar boa noite, participar desse momento tão importante, a nossa gestora pedagógica do Líder em Mim, Alessandra Zoanon. Boa noite, Alê.
Boa noite, Ju. Boa noite a todos que estão nos acompanhando aqui nesse Lem Play. É com muita alegria que eu estou aqui celebrando essa nossa profissão tão maravilhosa, tão transformadora, que transforma, né? Inspira, modela, enfim. Sou professora também, então é uma honra realmente também receber um Lem Play para mim, né? Porque esse Lem Play a gente vai receber um presente, uma palestra aqui da nossa querida Muriel. O Marco vai falar um pouquinho mais da trajetória, porque ela vem aqui como um presente também da Franklin Covey. Então, eu aproveito para parabenizar todos os professores, não só pelo seu dia, né, mas por essa grande escolha, essa escolha que transforma tantas vidas. No Líder em Mim, o papel do professor é crucial nesse desenvolvimento. A gente trabalha com um aluno integral, né? Então, o professor ele tem um momento ali da aula direta, um momento de transformar, um momento de olhar para o aluno para além de um conteúdo. Né? Então, a gente trabalha muito essa força. Então, muito obrigada a todos. Vamos bater um papinho um pouco antes da live. Então, para abrilhantar mais ainda essa noite, eu chamo aqui meu querido amigo e parceiro e mentor, mestre, professor, Marco Antônio Ferraz.
Boa noite, pessoal. Tudo bem? Prazer imenso em estar aqui. Oi, Juliana. Oi, Alê. Prazer muito grande estar aqui com vocês, antecedendo a fala da Muriel. Primeiro, eu queria parabenizar todos os meus colegas, como disse a Ju, pelo mês do professor e, por que não, pelo ano do professor. O professor é sempre, gente. Tem uma coisa que a gente não deixa de ser, é professor. Sempre será.
Em todos os ambientes, né, Marco? A gente é professor, né? Não é só dentro da escola.
Não só dentro da escola.
Eu sempre disse, eu sou professor de biologia e ciências, para quem não sabe, mas eu sempre disse que eu nunca saí de casa para dar aula só de biologia, porque é muito pouco.
Sim.
Você sair para ir trabalhar só pensando no seu conteúdo é muito pouco. Eu acho que a gente vai para dar uma oportunidade dos nossos alunos serem pessoas melhores, serem pessoas mais realizadas, serem pessoas felizes. Eu acho que esse é o grande papel do professor, ajudar nossos alunos a serem pessoas melhores. A Muriel um pouco fala disso no vídeo, mas eu queria então, como a Alessandra pediu, falar um pouquinho da Muriel. Muriel é uma professora, diretora de uma escola na Carolina do Norte, na capital, que se chama Raleigh, capital da Carolina do Norte, e ela vai contar a história dela no vídeo. Eu não vou ficar dando spoiler. O que eu posso dizer é que ela foi quem praticamente criou o Líder em Mim numa escola, porque os 7 hábitos já existia. O Dr. Covey, a tese de doutorado do Dr. Covey é de 1989, e a Muriel põe no final da década de 90, 98, por aí, na escola dela. E ela vai dizer como, porque ela conta a história, claro, bem melhor do que eu. E dali para frente, como deu muito certo na escola dela, a Franklin Covey junto com ela, passou a criar o programa Líder em Mim, e o programa Líder em Mim hoje está aí em milhares de escolas no mundo todo, mais de 700 no Brasil, e está em quase 70 países diferentes do mundo todo. De qualquer forma, professor, parabéns, viu? Parabéns muito grande para você. Só quem tem o sapato sujo de giz é capaz de entender o valor dessa profissão. Parabéns. Fica
Maravilha.
aí para vocês darem continuidade. Vamos assistir.
É
Vamos
isso
assistir,
mesmo.
então.
Vamos
Curtam
assistir,
e
então.
escrevam lá no chat, depois a gente bate um papo no final. Um beijo,
Qualquer
gente.
dúvida, qualquer pergunta, qualquer coisa que você queira falar, compartilhar, nos contar, se identificou, coloca tudo lá no chat, a gente vai conversar na volta.
E o
Será
time
um
de
momento
assessoria
de...
também está online, hein, Ju? O time de
Sim, o
assessoria
time
está
de assessoria
participando.
também está online lá no chat, prontinho, e também sendo homenageado, né? Com essa
Homenageado.
live sensacional,
Somos
com a
todos
fala da Muriel, que é pura inspiração e um modelo, né? Imagina, uma ação que ela teve lá em 1999, na escola em que ela era diretora, impactar tantos países, tanta gente. Então vamos nos inspirar com a Muriel agora.
Porque também somos impactados, né?
Muito!
Muito. Vamos lá.
Very near and dear to my heart, the leader in me. I have visited Brazil several times now, and every time I come to your beautiful country, I leave with a heart full of love and admiration and respect for the educators of your country. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be with you today. I am presenting to you from Istanbul, Turkey, in my hotel room, and I'm navigating this webinar by myself. So thank you for the grace you will give me as I attempt to navigate this webinar this afternoon. I'm going to share my screen with you now, and we'll get started. Again, my message to you this afternoon is the history, the why, the how, and the impact that the leader in me is having in schools all around the world. I'd like to begin by honoring you and the incredible work that you do every single day to make a difference in the lives of the children that you serve. You are a life changer.
What does the world need from school today? As a teacher, a life changer, how can you best impact the world for good? What comes to mind for you? A guess is better test takers isn't at the top of your list. Academics will always be a part of school. Today, is it too big a part? What if school were a place we created that better balanced the rigor and relevance of academic pursuit with the joy and satisfaction and love of learning new things? What if school focused on unlocking in each of us, ourselves, our students, families, our communities, our own genius and greatness, where we learned inside how to impact the challenges we face outside? Because we know that life isn't about the destination, about getting there. It's about the adventure of the journey, about being our best self with the people around us. It's not about taking, it's about giving. What if school were more like that? That everyone who stepped through our school doors each morning would know how to give to making our school and learning a place we each want it to be. Instead of have-tos, it would be a place of get-tos. Instead of rooms where we sometimes struggle to manage other people, we would learn how to better lead ourselves well. Instead of limiting, we would unlock. Instead of control, release. Instead of comply, empower. All of this would be a big job, not one easily undertaken and not quickly done. And yet schools around the world are doing it, with Leader in Me, like you are. You're taking what propels you in this profession to help others see what they don't yet see in themselves, to create a culture of loving learning and knowing how to make our world a better place. You're seeing what needs to change, and you're taking steps to make that happen. You're a teacher, a life changer, discovering and unleashing the leader in me.
You are indeed life changers. And someone who was a life changer for me was Dr. Stephen Covey. I met Dr. Covey over 20 years ago at a conference in Washington, D.C. And a student will be sharing the A.B. Combs story with you in just a few minutes. But I was a first-year principal when I first heard Dr. Covey speak. I was desperate to try to find a way to transform this very low academic performing school. It was also a school where there was low teacher morale. Students were disrespectful and unruly. Parents were questioning whether they wanted to send their children to A.B. Combs. So what was a huge problem became one of the greatest opportunities of my professional life. And that's why I want to say to you that today, that when you're presented with a problem, look at it as an opportunity for greatness, because there's no way that I would be speaking to you today had we not at A.B. Combs took an incredible problem, only influence students in our community, but to influence students and make education better for students all over the world. As I said, I met Dr. Covey in Washington, D.C. over 20 years ago. And I asked Dr. Covey the question, as I sat there and listened to him, I was thinking from the heart of a parent and the head of an educator, how am I going to transform a school that is in such need of great repair? And how will I prepare the students to be ready for the challenges that they would face later in life? As I listened to Dr. Covey speak, I wondered if you could teach the habits to little children. At that time, the habits were being taught primarily to adults and mostly business and community leaders. But when I asked Dr. Covey, do you think you can teach the habits to little children? He replied, I don't know why not. And if you do anything with it, let me know. Over 20 years later, children around the world are given these life-ready skills that help them now as students and perhaps help them even more to lead their lives once they leave school. And I think that's one of the greatest opportunities we have as educators, to not only prepare our students for where they are now, but to begin with the end in mind and prepare them to be life-ready, responsible, caring, compassionate human beings. This work started at A.B. Combs Elementary in Raleigh, North Carolina, and I always want to pay tribute to the wonderful educators and parents and children who were at A.B. Combs during these transformational years, because they're the ones that are really the heroes and heroines of the A.B. Combs story. We faced incredible challenges, low academic performance, low teacher morale, students who were not focused and driven, who were often disrespectful. We really had students who did not want to attend school, but we had a wonderful community that had very high expectations for us. And as a result of those high expectations, we brought in our key stakeholders and we asked them this question. And the key stakeholders were our students, our teachers, our parents, community leaders, and university professors. And we asked the question, if you could create your ideal school, what would it look like? What would it sound like? And what would it feel like? And over the course of a very short period of time, we gathered all of this data from our key stakeholders. And what the data and the information and the feedback said to us was that they wanted us to focus as much on helping develop the character of their children as they did the academic well-being of their children. So let's listen as one of our former students, Ryan Lee Parker, shares the A.B. Combs story.
What is the A.B. Combs story? Hi, I'm Ryan Lee Parker, a former Combs student, and we've been asked that question a lot. Well, it all started before I was even born, but let me try and share a few highlights. In ninth grade low, nobody was applying to attend our school. Teachers were unhappy and our hallways were dull. This was the year Miss Summers was assigned to be the principal. At that time, our school superintendent challenged Miss Summers to make A.B. Combs more attractive to families in the area. With no extra money or resources to make it happen, in only 1 year to do it, she didn't know where to begin. But like Albert Einstein said, in the middle of difficulty lies great opportunity. Around this time, Ms. Summers attended a presentation of Dr. Stephen Covey, the world-renowned leadership consultant in Washington, D.C. He was speaking about the 7 habits of highly effective people. As she listened to him speak, she thought, I wonder if you can teach these habits to little children. At the final break of the day, she mustered up enough courage to ask Dr. Covey this question. Do you think children as young as 5 to 10 years old could learn these habits? Dr. Covey responded, well, I don't see why not. If you do anything about it, let me know how it goes. This was all the inspiration we needed. When Miss Summers returned to Raleigh, she spoke to some of the teachers about her experience, and the idea of a leadership theme began to take root. She also talked to students, parents, college professors, and business leaders and asked these questions. If you could create your ideal school, what would it look like? What would it sound like? What would it feel like? Every idea screamed leadership. It was at that moment that our transformational process began. We became the first leadership elementary school in the nation, using the 7 habits of highly effective people as the framework for teaching leadership development. Students began setting and tracking academic goals. Achievement scores began to climb. Our hallways took on a whole new look, and every student was given the chance to be a leader. Before we knew it, A.B. Combs was featured in Dr. Covey's book, The Leader in Me, and people started visiting our school from all over the world. Since then, our journey has been exciting and challenging, but most of all, rewarding. We have been recognized by the U.S. Department of Education and have received many national awards. In fact, we're the only school to be named the National Magnet School of America twice. As great as it is to be recognized, the best award of all is being part of a school where we are loved, where our ideas matter, and where we are celebrated for who we are and what we believe. So this is a glimpse of our story, and we're not even close to an ending. In fact, our story isn't really a story after all, is it? It's more like a chapter in a powerful tale with unlimited potential. As you share what you have seen and experienced today, think about the stories, our chapter, your chapter, and the chapters that will be written far into the future. Because what I know about this Leader in Me story is that it's far from finished. We are lucky to have started the narrative, but our challenge to you is to pick up a pen. Be a part of the story. Join us in leading children as they learn that their ideas have power and that their words can forever change the world. Thank you.
And that's the A.B. Combs story. I retired 3 years ago from being the principal of A.B. Combs after 43 years in education to do the next chapter in my life, which is to spread the great work of the Leader in Me to schools all around the world. But it started at A.B. Combs Leadership Magnet Elementary in Raleigh, North Carolina. There are now almost 8,000 schools around the world that are doing this work. The very last conversation that I had with Dr. Covey was that I asked him before he passed away, what do you want to see happen in the world of education as it pertains to your work of the 7 habits of highly effective people? And he said, please try to get it to every child in every corner of the world. There's so many children in Brazil that are benefiting from the work of the Leader in Me. And we are so honored to partner with Somos and with Brazil in bringing this work to the children in your country. I am in Istanbul, Turkey, as I said, because the work is spreading all over the world. And it's so incredible to see what has happened. This work was created by teachers for teachers. And so it's important that you know that everything that is under the umbrella of leadership development and the Leader in Me was created by teachers, again, for teachers. Here's a photograph of Dr. Covey with our students over 20 years ago. And every child in this photograph is now in college or in the workforce doing quite well. So I know for sure that this work matters and this work makes a difference. The students will come back and tell me that they might not remember everything we taught them in reading, writing, or mathematics, but they will always remember the opportunities and the leadership lessons that they learned as a result of being in a Leader in Me school. So what are these paradigms, frameworks that help support the concept of leadership? You know, our paradigms are our mental maps. It's how we see the world. One of the most powerful frameworks that Dr. Covey left us was called the See, Do, Get model. What we see determines what we do, impacts the results that we get. So if we see that everyone can be a leader, that everyone has genius, that change starts with us, the inside out approach, that if we can empower students to be leaders of their own learning and involve our families in helping us to develop the heart, the mind, the body, and the spirit of their child, then we have created a culture and a framework, if you will, that helps every child reach their fullest potential. But going back to the see, do, get model, I have to see as an educator that every single child can be a leader, that every single child has gifts and talents. Some may be in academics, some may be in sports, some may be in art, music, kindness, compassion, initiative, leadership. But not all of those skills are measured on a test. But what I know for sure is that these skills of leadership development, of teaching children the importance of being self-directed, advocating for themselves, recognizing their gifts and talents, understanding the importance of giving back, those are skills that will take our students far in life. So, what is the typical approach to how we go about teaching? We give most of our energy in most of the schools around the world and focusing on nothing but the academics. And yes, that is very, very important. That's our core business, to help our children succeed academically. But what we found out is that if we create this culture of leadership based on the core paradigms that every child has genius, every child can be a leader, change starts with us, empowering children to have a voice and to have a say, and then to involve our parents, then we have created this amazing culture that just naturally helps children succeed academically. And then we're preparing them with these life-ready skills to do extremely well in life based on their voice, their interest, their talents, and their leadership. So we give equal weight to a great school culture, to a great, robust academic program, and also the leadership development of all of our students. And I know without a doubt that this is the model, if you will, the philosophy, if you will, of what makes an extraordinary school. We teach our children and our staff and our parents the 7 habits of highly effective people. Habit number 1, be proactive. Habit number 2 is a habit of vision by beginning with the end in mind. Habit number 3 is to put first things first. It's about time management. And those are the 3 habits that help us be better people. That's called the private victory. And when we can master habits 1, 2, and 3, we can move up to the public victory, which is habits number 4, think win-win. Habit number 5, seek first to understand and then to be understood. The power of listening. Habit number 6 is synergizing, working collaboratively to set goals and to create a culture of excellence for all. That's 1 + 1 = 3. And then habit number 7, which is sharpen the saw, helping our children create this balance of heart, mind, body, and spirit. And then the 8th habit, when all of these habits are in place and children understand these habits and are living the habits, they find their voice. They find what they are passionate and interested in. And that's when you begin to get this high academic achievement. Again, the importance of children having balance in their lives with their heart, their mind, their body, and their spirit. When you put all of this together, the paradigm of what we see determines what we do, impacts the results we get based on the 5 core paradigms couched under leadership, culture, and academics. You get incredible results. And here is your school improvement plan. This is what you do in a school to get extraordinary results. And all the 8,000 schools around the world, depending upon where they are in their journey with the Leader in Me, they are getting extraordinary results. They're almost seeing improvement immediately when they transform their culture first, then focusing on the leadership development of their students. They see the impact that it has on academic achievement. And here is the Leader in Me schoolhouse model. As educators, despite what grade we teach, we always want to imagine what our students will look like, what skills will they possess when they leave school, when they graduate and are ready for the workforce or for their continued academic program. We want them to possess certain skills. This framework is referred to as a student portrait, where students are leading themselves based on habits 1, 2, and 3. And we want them to understand the importance of achieving goals, contributing to others, collaborating with others, developing their skills, being responsible, having a vision for where they want to be, and also understanding the importance of higher order thinking and time management. And then when students can effectively lead themselves, they can start to lead others and also learn to advocate for themselves, regulate themselves when they need to. So when students are in the public, what's called the public victory of habits 4, 5, 6, and 7, they are building relationships. They're showing empathy, communication, collaboration. They're working in a culture of trust. They can start to lead others. And that's what we want for our students. We also want to create these incredible cultures where the walls actually teach through quotes, through displays. Every day we wanted our children to enter the doors of AB Combs knowing that they were seen, they were known, and they were loved. We wanted them to know that we honored the greatness in them through their gifts and talents that they uniquely brought to school every day. We also wanted to see that for the children to see themselves as leaders. So every child's photograph was displayed on our wall. We gave our students opportunities to lead in the areas that they were most passionate about: public speaking, dance, art. And we started to see amazing things happen. Older students leading younger students. An older student whose gift was public speaking is helping a younger student develop her skills in public speaking. And again, the framework, the habits of children understanding what does it mean to begin with the end in mind. And then we have a student graduating from high school, ready to enter his chosen career or his chosen path. And the importance of their own wellness by taking breaks throughout the day to stop and to reflect. and to center themselves so that it's not so fast-paced every day. We also want our teachers to teach in a climate of mutual respect and fun with one another. When our teachers are happy, our students are happy. And again, showcasing the importance of involving our parents in their children's learning as well. So what's different about the Leader in Me in comparison to other philosophies? Because you see, the Leader in Me is not a program. It is a philosophy of how we do business in our schools and the things that we focus on that are most important. This common language of the 7 habits. Every child in a Leader in Me school has a leadership role and responsibility. And when children are given jobs, roles, if you will, to do, they want to come to because they know that the job that they have is something that they enjoy doing, and that they know that the school is counting on them to fulfill that role and responsibility. Therefore, they want to come. Students are also given a voice and a say about what happens in their classroom and what happens in our schools. Leader in Me schools give children opportunities to share their thoughts and ideas. The Leader in Me is not one more thing. It's woven into everything that you do throughout your day. It's this ubiquitous approach that when you are teaching reading, writing, mathematics, science, and social studies, you as teachers are looking for these opportunities to teach the habits through the content you're already required to teach. Again, it is not one more thing. Students leading their own conferences with you by their side, sharing with their families how they're doing in school through a leadership portfolio. Parents are engaged and are learning the 7 habits through the 7 habits of highly effective families. We also want a culture of an ABCOM school or a Leader in Me school to be one that is vibrant and child-centered. And we also want to give students opportunities to lead in those areas of art, music, academics, public speaking, community service, sports. We want them to lead in the areas in which they're passionate about. That's what's different about a leader results. The power of leadership in terms of teaching our students that change starts with us. It must start with us first. And children learn that at a very early age. That's what we do, and also gets the results that we get. The see, do, get model. What we see determines what we do, impacts the results we get. We also base leadership on a set of timeless principles, which are the 7 habits and the frameworks that we have in place, the core paradigms, the see, do, get model, the language of the 7 habits. It makes a difference with one another all around the world so that children have an understanding and an appreciation that we're more alike around this world than we are different. And then you start to see habit number 5, seek first to understand and then to be understood. Be a powerful habit in helping us change our world. The leader in me develops the whole child while giving them the skills to navigate their lives now and in the future. So this is a portrait of a student that has gone through the 7 habits of highly effective people and have attended a Leader in Me schools. They are ready. They are future ready leaders that are passionate and confident about making a difference in our world. Dr. Covey always said leadership is communicating someone's worth and potential so clearly that they are inspired to see it in themselves. Studies have shown that learners with confidence are more willing to learn, challenge themselves, and have better resilience in the face of difficult transitions. Confidence has been quoted as the #1 predictor of academic achievement. And I know without a doubt that children in Leader in Me schools are confident because of the opportunities that they have been provided. And when students are confident, the data shows it's the #1 predictor of academic achievement. So as I close out our time today, I want you to listen to what students who are now in college or in the workforce are saying about the impact that the leader in me has had.
Individuals, we matter, okay? Because one thing that Combs really embodies is like making sure everyone feels included, everyone feels welcome, especially with the hall of flags from all over the world. I really just love that because walking down that hallway, you feel like you could go anywhere, you can do anything.
Combs was really good about showing diversity. And I remember always like carrying my little flag for like the international festival. And it also taught me just to believe in myself, because there were a lot of times where maybe I wasn't confident showing my little data notebook, but once my teachers believed in me, it really made me believe in myself.
They taught me how to find my voice and how to not only find my voice, but hone my voice into who I want to be and to help me present myself as who I want to be and how I want to lead in the world.
And it honestly helped to shape me into the person that I am today by being understanding and still growing in my leadership pathway, and just understanding that you have to be empathetic with others and really just listen to them, and being able to synergize with them to work together. That's really all it's all about.
Taking part in all these different opportunities like leadership days, and it allowed us to build confidence in ourselves. Teacher or a mentor reach down and shake your hand and look at you and say, I am so glad that you are here today, is a feeling that I think is essential to the success of people in general.
We feel like we're a part of something bigger than ourselves. You know what principles are important to you, and if you follow those wherever you're at, you'll be confident that that's where you belong.
Thank you so much to all of our panelists today for sharing your stories and for telling us how your foundation in leadership habits and in compassion and
So I think the video says it all. The children are confident, they're compassionate, they're caring, loving human beings who are making such a difference in our world right now. So again, I ask you to think about this quote. We only get one chance to prepare our children for a world that none of us can possibly predict. And what are we going to do with that one chance? If we're focusing on academic excellence, some children will never realize their true gifts and talents. So creating this leadership culture where we are helping our children find their voice, find their purpose, that's what I think will make our world much better place and children successful businesses. So in closing, I would like to share the importance of all of us living every day to the fullest, loving completely, and striving to leave a legacy. Thank you so very much for the opportunity to spend time with you today. Thank you for the work that you do. Thank you for being the life changer in a student's life. And thank you for recognizing that we need to provide our children with skills that will help them do well, not only in school, but perhaps most importantly, leading their lives outside of school once they leave us. And that's what we do best with the Leader in Me. We prepare our children to be life-ready learners. I wish you all the best. Until I see you again, take care and much love.
E aí, gente, me contem, que vocês acharam dessa fala tão importante da Muriel, né? Além de muito inspiradora, uma história sensacional. A gente viu aí depoimentos de alunos também. Ale, Marco, o que vocês comentam aí?
Não, a Muriel é uma estrela, né, gente? Ela tem uma luz, assim, iluminada realmente, né? Saber de todo esse legado, de tudo, né? Na hora que ela começou falando ali da gratidão com o Dr. Covey, né? Que eu já me emocionei logo ali, né? Porque eu também me coloquei no papel de quanto mudou a minha própria vida também, o quanto eu vejo essa transformação nas escolas, né? Então, ver da onde partiu a mudança, de trabalhar os 5 paradigmas, né? De você trabalhar e acreditar realmente, né? Que a mudança começa em nós, no paradigma realmente da motivação, da educação como um todo. Então, foi muito inspirador para mim esse momento. E você, Marco?
O que acontece, que é mais significativo para mim, é que a Muriel é uma professora.
Sim.
A Muriel pegou uma escola quebrada, vamos falar português, claro.
Sim.
Pegou uma escola no pó da rabiola. Professor desanimado, pais não queriam mais pôr os filhos na escola. É parte da história, porque o que a gente sabe é que o supervisor chamou a Muriel e disse, olha, você tem 6 meses para apresentar um projeto. Caso contrário, porque lá nos Estados Unidos, se a escola pública não vai bem, fecham.
Fecha.
E uma escola magnética significa uma escola que ela é mista administração. Parte é governo, parte são pais. E a Muriel pegou um rojão. E ela conseguiu não só reerguer a escola, ela ganhou o prêmio da principal escola pelo governo americano em 2000 e depois repetiu agora em 2014. Ela é a única escola americana que 2 vezes ganhou o prêmio. E por quê? Por causa do Líder em Mim. Essa é a verdade. E é importante que vocês saibam que o prêmio que ela ganhou não foi por causa do Líder em Mim. O prêmio é pelo resultado acadêmico. Nos Estados Unidos, em setembro, tem uma testagem nacional do governo americano. E os resultados dela e da comunidade, dos professores entrevistados, foram tão grandes que ela ganhou o prêmio 2 vezes. Naquela época, em 14. A única. Isso é resultado de que o Líder em Mim realmente funciona. Claro, a Ivy Combs é um modelo para todos nós.
Sim,
mas nós temos escolas no Brasil e no mundo que são tão brilhantes quanto, tão boas quanto. Ou seja, o Líder em Mim não é um programa para escolas perfeitas, ricas, bonitas. É para um programa para a escola que enfrenta desafios. E atenção, nós, professores, o que eu acho que o Líder em Mim nos oferece? Um caminho organizado, planejado, para que a gente possa exercer a nossa função de oferecer algo para o desenvolvimento das nossas crianças, dos nossos alunos. Algo que nós, professores, queremos, sentimos necessidade de preparar nossos alunos para a vida, deixar nossos alunos prontos para a vida. É claro, nosso conteúdo, o nosso ensinamento cognitivo, ele é um mote. Ele tem a sua importância, evidente, eu não vou negar isso, mas ele não pode se resumir nele mesmo. Ele tem que ser parte do nosso trabalho. O nosso trabalho é maior do que isso. Nós, professores, somos mais do que isso. Nós temos mais a oferecer do que simplesmente o conteúdo das nossas escolas. Nós somos formadores de caráter. Nós somos pessoas capazes de libertar os nossos alunos. No mundo de hoje, onde as redes sociais, o isolamento social, agora acabou de ser publicado, até eu vou mostrar depois na reunião de assessoria do Líder em Mim. A Unesco acabou de publicar índices alarmantes de de depressão, de angústia, de ansiedade das nossas crianças, adolescentes e jovens. O líder em mim está aí. Eu acho que para nós, professor, a nossa missão é maior, o nosso trabalho é maior. Eu sempre digo, tudo bem, nós temos uma missão, claro, todo homem tem uma missão, mas a nossa missão enquanto educador é nosso trabalho, é nossa profissão, é nossa especialização, dar condições para que essas crianças, nossos alunos, se realizem, sejam pessoas completas, sejam pessoas que possam amanhã contribuir numa sociedade melhor, que é o que a gente quer. Eu só tenho a agradecer a audiência, agradecer aqueles que estão aí e participaram do nosso encontro, e que essa homenagem receba do coração. É de alguém como a Muriel, que dedicou 40 anos da sua vida para a educação, para a mudança de crianças, é de todos nós, da Somos, da Franklin Covey, para vocês. Vocês são quem merecem os aplausos, são quem merecem todas as nossas, enfim, homenagens, todas as nossas orgulho de tê-los vocês conosco. Parabéns, professor. Seja professor com orgulho, com cabeça erguida, com muito a oferecer a todos que estão tendo suas aulas, convivendo com vocês. Digam de cabeça erguida e com muito orgulho: eu sou professor e estou aqui para ajudar meus alunos. Obrigado a todos vocês.
Ah, que lindo, Marco.
Maravilhoso, Marco.
Maravilhoso. Fala, Lê, sua vez.
Bom, depois do Marco, depois de tudo isso, Marco, eu nem sei o que dizer. Brincadeira, mas sempre tem. Mas eu penso realmente ali naquele papel. Hoje eu assisti um vídeo, Marco, de MCI, onde mostra uma professora, para um 5º ano, o professor assistiu uma aula de um professor e ele estava passando um vídeo da MCI, e era um 5º ano, e era uma meta de uma professora da EBCOMS, né? E os alunos ali aplaudindo ela antes de ir para essa meta dela, que era andar 51 quilômetros de bicicleta. E eu pensei, gente, como essa escola é incrível realmente, né? E isso é muito real, a gente já esteve lá, a gente sabe disso, porque eles passam essa energia real mesmo, né, Marco? Além do conteúdo, né? Da importância do indivíduo, na valorização da vida, na valorização do próximo, no se colocar no lugar do outro. E nós temos escolas aqui no Brasil também fazendo esse trabalho. As nossas escolas Líder em Mim, a partir do momento que tem o programa, já tem esse objetivo em mente. E os professores têm esse poder, né, de trazer isso para os alunos, né, que somos seres para a vida, né, para o mundo aí, convivemos em sociedade, né, trabalhando a nossa interdependência. Então, professor, tenha muito orgulho. Na história de cada um de nós, sempre tem uma passagem sobre um professor na nossa vida. Então, os professores, eles têm um papel fundamental. Então, nós temos também uma passagem na vida de algum aluno, que vai lembrar da gente em algum momento da vida dele, ali quando ele estiver contando a história dele. Então, parabéns pelo seu dia. Vocês fazem a diferença, porque o Líder em Mim, para o Líder em Mim dar certo, o professor tem que estar engajado. Ele tem que estar integrado, né? Ele tem que querer, ele não dá sozinho. O Líder em Mim é maravilhoso, é um sucesso, mas ele depende de pessoas, e essas pessoas começam a partir do educador. Então, parabéns pelo seu dia, pelo mês, pelo ano, como disse o Marco, porque todos os dias são nossos, porque é uma luta diária, com certeza. Então, muito obrigada pela audiência, foi um prazer estar aqui, ouvir a Muriel, ouvir o Marco, a Ju, né? Estar aqui, ouvir tantas mensagens boas das nossas escolas queridas aí na live. Muito obrigada, viu, gente?
Tá subindo muita coisa boa, muito orgulho, né, e gratidão aqui do pessoal que está compartilhando com a gente no chat. Tudo inicia na escola, né? Então, nós somos professores e o mundo começa dentro da escola. A partir do que você desenvolve dentro da sua sala de aula ali com os seus alunos, é o que ele pode levar para a vida dele, é o que ele vai levar para a vida dele, e é a escolha que ele vai fazer, inclusive de profissões. né? Então, o professor, ele inicia, inclusive, milhares de profissões, né? A gente inspira a alunos serem professores e inspira eles a se encontrarem em outras profissões. Então, tudo começa de fato, dentro da escola. É um orgulho imenso estar aqui, mais uma vez, ao lado da Lê, ao lado do Marco, ouvindo a Muriel, me inspirando, nos inspirando, homenageando vocês e me sentindo muito homenageada também. E eu só quero lembrar uma coisinha que a Muriel falou lá no início, né? Que foi o que despertou ali o olhar dela para buscar algo que fizesse diferença nesse desenvolver, né? Para que a escola pudesse ser o sucesso que é hoje. E eu, inclusive, mandei lá nos grupos de Equipe Farol das minhas escolas, e ela diz, uma pergunta, ó, se você pudesse criar a sua escola ideal, como ela seria, soaria e sentiria? Olha que profundo isso. Como ela seria, soaria e sentiria. A gente faz parte de tudo isso. A gente desenvolve a nossa escola todos os dias. Parabéns a vocês pelo dia, pelo mês e pela vida, né? Porque vocês escolheram ser professores. Então, é uma vida de entrega e de muita inspiração e de modelo, né? Porque somos modelo o tempo inteiro. Agradeço demais a participação da Lê e do Marco, de todo mundo que está aqui conosco. Nossa assessoria pedagógica, que está lá no chat, conversando com todos os professores. Muito orgulho de estar aqui, muito orgulho de ter vocês conosco.
Muito obrigada, gente. Até a próxima.
Obrigado, pessoal.